All right.
We're not going to delay the ones that showed up. All right, I'm going to start this with just saying this meeting is mandatory. Just to let everybody know that if you do not finish the class, means you lag out and you don't come back, you just close your app, whatever. It will not count until you are dismissed. So if you have issues, I understand, but we know when somebody lags out when they just dip out because obviously you don't come back. So that being said, it will not count if you don't come back. You'll have to take the class and hear everything all over again. We're going to implement something a little different this time. Instead of us doing it the normal way, Miss Kishi, if you would like to take over this part, this is your department. Is she not here?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm waiting for my food. Yeah, if we can just start by getting, is everyone on Discord that's in this room?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm on.
Right. And everyone put down their Discord. Yeah, I have you. I'm sorry, Ryan, I have you already.
I got you, Candy.
Hey, Trevi, I've got you down. I mean, I think we've already wasted enough time. If you guys don't post your Discords where I can't send you information, then I'm just going to say you're dismissed from the meeting.
So we need Marcellus's and Chris SK's Discord.
Yes.
Everybody, I don't got the group. I don't got the group of medics.
Okay, but that's why Kishi's trying to get your Discord so we can get you set up on here the right way. Because if you're not going to get Discord, you're not going to move any further than where you're at anyway. So you'll be dismissed and go about your business because you will not be ranking up tomorrow either way without Discord. So if you have it, drop it so she can add you, give you the information you're needing. If you don't know how to do so, Jayla or Miss Schuler will be happy to assist you.
All right, I see them posted. So I'm going to go in and add everyone. I will be right back. I want to make sure, I'm able to request you all. If you guys want to start going over the MDs, RPs, that's totally fine. I'll make sure they have all that info, and Jayla and Raya will be included in that conversation as well.
All right. The first thing I'm going to sit here and say before she starts, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hold them until the end. If you interrupt the meeting, you will be asked to go down to floor 1 and go about your business. And you will not be ranked up tomorrow because I'm only holding this tonight. It's only usually Sundays until we implement another day. So your rank up will be postponed for the week. Everybody okay with that?
So
good.
So you mean like when we don't have Discord, you're going to fire us?
You just won't move any further than where you're at. So if you're trying to rank up, that's not going to happen.
All right.
It is a requirement for here and other factions that you have Discord. And so if you don't have it, you're not going to get much further in the game than where you're at now.
Alright,
The whole
Kishiwashi,
point.
can you do the magic?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and do it right now. I just want you guys to be aware. The whole point of Discord is for communication. Things are constantly changing. There's always, ways that we're improving ourselves, and we have to make sure that that communication gets out to all of you. So that's why we have Discord.
Yeah, just say SK2030.
Whoops. Sorry, that was not meant for y'all. That was meant for somebody else.
And don't forget this one. Don't forget this one.
I got you, Chris. I got you. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that now. You guys can begin.
Okay, now
Alright.
that being said, no more interruptions because you will be asked to leave while we go over these. Some of you know them, some of you don't. I don't really care because there's some of you guys that say you know these and we still catch you breaking them. So we're just going to go over some things and then we'll get you guys out of here. Miss Candy,
Yes, sir.
you want to take over your part? You like doing the MDs and the RPs? I'll let you.
Yes, can you go over the project rules first? I'm trying to get Milani up here. She's the green scrub we're missing. She's asking me if I speak French.
Uh, um, I don't think so, do you?
It doesn't matter. She's talking to me in English.
Well, I mean, maybe she wants to talk to you in her native tongue. I don't know. Okay, I could cover some of those because the rest of them we had to write down, or Kishi's working on all that. So when she comes back, if I missed anything, first of all, do not be using the front doors unless you are a supervisor or a white coat. They are off limits. Use the back door only. It kind of keeps the flow of traffic and everything, hopefully minimum. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. Second is do not drive any vehicles that you are not able to spawn in. So you don't need to be in the trucks or the buses or any of that because you're not able to spawn it in. You don't need to be in it unless it's on the side of the road and it's abandoned and you want to drive it back to HP, despawn it, or any of the spray spots on the map. You can back it up to there, park it in there, and within like 10 seconds it despawns. That way it keeps the cluster out. And you guys probably noticed there's a leg spike here lately. It's because of that exact reason. There's too many vehicles and stuff spawned in, and it starts causing the game to glitch. So we're trying to keep those cleaned up. So if you see something, just park it somewhere that it'll either be out of the way or will despawn. And if you don't know, you can always bring it back to HP in the back lot where the doors are that you go in, drive the ambulance or any vehicle there, it'll despawn. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Now, if it's somewhere where you died, obviously your vehicle is going to be there. Just make sure the save's seen before you go collect it. If not, just leave it. Somebody will get it later. But just don't be abandoning vehicles because you don't want to be driving them anymore. It's just making a mess, and then we have to go and pick them up. We're all adults. You guys should be able to pick up after yourselves. What am I missing here? Miss Carla.
Yeah.
You want to go over some of these project rules?
Hey, Chris, can you not type in the chat while they're talking, please?
I don't have them in front of me right now. I can
Thank
grab
you.
them. I'll give you 1 minute.
Oh, okay. The other thing is we do not go inside of gang houses. Okay, that's a no. We now got patrol out. We're scoping out. Just because you see us don't mean you know exactly what we're doing. But we've got people going inside of gang houses, reviving people. We're not dealing with that anymore. And we know that a lot of people here lately have been going to their gangs and having them recruited to come over here to go back to sell. That's also included. We are patrolling. We know who's in, who's out, what's going on. We're not stupid. May come off that way, but we're catching on pretty quick. And let's see, what else do we got?
Did you tell them about the door, the front door?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
They'll go to the military base.
Oh, yeah. Military base is completely off limits unless you are part of the teams that are implemented into doing so. And you guys are not high enough level to be even to that, so you ain't got to worry about it. So just stay away from the military because you will be shot on sight. If you do not have permission to be there, they will not hesitate. They don't know what your intentions are. It's shoot first, questions later. And I don't want to hear anybody coming back and, oh, the military shot me. Well, guess what? That's on you because you were already warned not to go up there. So there's that. The second thing is I'm going to say this. The PD is not a hangout spot for anybody. They have jobs just like we do. And the other thing is because I just remembered it, I reminded myself, if you're on vacation at any point, doesn't matter if you're from now to White Coat, you are not allowed on HP property at all. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be here. You took a break for a reason. Doesn't mean come hang out with your friends, do what you want to do. No, it's not allowed. And if you're on vacation, then HP events will be off limits. You don't need to be at those either. You are on break for a reason. So you don't need to be at HP events. That's for HP staff only. You're on vacation for IRL.
Oh, shoot. Damn, my bad. My bad at all. My bad. I only slipped. I only touched my gun for no reason. My bad. Sorry.
Chris, please hold your mic.
Okay, that's one. So anyway, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the white coats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, if you're on vacation, you don't need to be on HP grounds, whether you're doing something IRL or you're just taking a break from your job, whatever. The HP events, if you need a break because you're tired of working here, everybody that you deal with here is going to be at those HP events. It's not for regular civilians, it's not for gang members, it's not for any of that. It's for HP only, unless posted otherwise. So if you want to invite your friends or whatever, gang members are not allowed, and HP events are just for HP employees only. So unless there is something posted otherwise. But what else? Oh, this is going to tie into the rules, but I'm going to bring it up anyway because I've caught countless people doing it. Just because you are part of the medical faction does not mean that you can use your vehicle to go on CPR runs. I have been catching a lot of people doing that, and it's against rules. We will be getting to that, but I've been seeing a lot of people doing it, and it is being monitored and it is being watched. Just so everybody knows, it's not ratting if you're doing your job, because your job is to record and report. If you're upset about somebody turning you in, then you probably shouldn't be doing that thing that you got reported for. So we got jobs just like you guys do, and if we let one person do it, then everybody's going to be doing it, and it's just chaos, and that's not going to happen. Chris, as I've said, you can wait till the end, and then you can ask your questions. Miss Candy, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you're ready. I think until Kishi comes back, because she wrote all of them down or was trying to. I might have missed a few, but we'll get to that, I suppose. But I'll let you do the MDs and RPs if you're ready.
All right, so we're going to go over the MDs. These are rules that are laid out for us to follow. Number 1 is the refusal to provide medical assistance. The only time we're allowed to refuse is when we're in lobby and the patient has their gun out. We cannot give them any medical assistance if they have their gun out. Also, we cannot give them any medical assistance in a dangerous situation where there's shootings going on and people running other people over. That's dangerous. Any other time, we have to provide everyone with medical assistance. Also, whoops, I forgot. If you're outside of the hospital, I don't know if you mentioned this, Batman, it's also a project rule. We're not allowed, like, say for instance, we are on CPR calls and a random person comes up and asks for a med kit or pills. We're not allowed to hand those out. We're only allowed to do that in the hospital or with the victim that we just revived with CPR. Does anybody have any questions on that? Yes, that's another project rule is we're not allowed to run CPR calls alone. You must always have partners. Also, the best way to do it is, say you're a green scrub and you're doing CPRs, make sure you have a trainer like Jayla or Raya behind y'all, or any other pink or brown scrubs, and then make sure you have a white coat like Carla. Oh, Crook's there too. Crook is a trainer as well. Like Carla or Batman or me or Kishi, somebody with a white coat as well. So number 2 is firearm usage. While we have this uniform on, we are not allowed to use a gun at all. We cannot go walking around just with our gun out. We can't shoot anybody. It is completely against the law.
Hey, Candy, I have a question, not to cut you off or anything, but even though we're not allowed to, are we allowed to have one?
Some of us have one. We just ask that you don't pull it out at any time while you have that uniform on.
Right. That's what I wanted to know. That's it. That's all. I know not to do that, but I was just asking. Okay.
We
All right, so
understand.
number 3.
Hold that thought. We understand that you guys come from different factions. You know, there's different situations. Some of you guys come from gangs. Some of you guys come from military, PD, and everything. So you still have weapons. So yeah, like you're shuffling through trying to get to your taser is one thing, but if you're sitting here walking around with it, then that's a different story. So there's just kind of a avoid it at all costs if possible, but we also understand if you're shuffling through trying to get to your taser and your gun's in the way and you're swiping through, that's one thing. But If you're just walking around with it and shooting people and aiming it at people, then obviously it's not you shuffling for your taser.
Yeah, if you're in lobby, you should not be shuffling through your taser, guns, weapons, period, Chris. I just had to put that out there. So number 3 is adherence to project rules. That's the rules that Batman went over with y'all. Also, once you're on Discord, you'll be able to find those in our faction server. We just ask that you follow the project rules. If not, it can be a punishment, a warning to a rep. It all depends on what happened. My dog's barking. All right, number 4 is the official use, or I'm sorry, the use of official vehicle for personal use. So we ask that you, if you go on break and you need to go to the character shop, make sure you take your own car. Do not take an EMS car or ambulance to the grocery store or to go on break anywhere. Just like, for example, if you want to go to the bar, take your own car. Do not take an EMS car. Number 5 is issuing medical certificates. That means that's also one of the project rules. I think I've already given an example on it. For instance, say you're outside and somebody comes up and asks you for a med kit. You're not allowed to give them a med kit outside. You can kindly say, you must go to the hospital to get a med kit. I'm not allowed to give you one out here. All right, and number 6 is medical assistance during dangerous situations. I think I touched on that a little bit. So like a dangerous situation would be where there's a shooting going on or where there's people running other people over. We are allowed to refuse medical assistance in a dangerous situation. If not, if we were to, like, say we're on an emergency call with a partner and we pull up to somebody who called the emergency crew and there's still shooting around there, and I get out and I start reviving people when there's still shootings going on, then I will be charged with MD6, medical assistance during dangerous situations, because we're not allowed to be doing that. It puts us in danger. We could die.
Okay, hold on. Chris, I'm not doing that. We've already warned you. Everybody's asked you. You can go downstairs. I'm not doing this. You're dismissed. Go down.
I didn't talk.
We were asking you not to spam the chat, not to talk in the chat. You were still typing in the
Yeah,
chat,
I said okay.
which is interrupting the meeting. So therefore, you can go downstairs.
I'm sorry, y'all.
All right, one more chance. Just hold your mic and wait till the end to ask your question.
All right, continue, Miss Candy.
MD7 is gang association and criminal activity. We are not supposed to be associating ourselves with gangsters. I try to keep it to a minimum. If they want to talk to me in the hospital, in the lobby, cool. As long as we're talking about, medical business. I'm not going to ask any gangster to do anything for me, and if they ask me to do anything for them other than hand them a med kit or a pill inside the lobby, I'm going to say no. Like, for example, you might have a gangster come up to you and be like, hey man, can you come sit with us and hang out at the gang house while we play 1v1, and will you pick us up when we die and hand out pills? Just kindly tell them, no, sir, I cannot do that. And some of them will just keep asking and asking and asking. Just kindly say no and walk away. We're not allowed to associate with them at all. If you're caught hanging out at the gang house, that's also an MD7. It's also an MD3 and an MD9, and you'll most likely be dismissed. The criminal activity is like if you get an ambulance and you're running people over with that ambulance, like the trolls do, you'll also be charged with MD7. MD8 is disrespectful conduct, and that means respect everybody on this server. I know it's very hard to respect somebody when they're not respecting you. If that happens and you're being attacked by somebody disrespectfully, try your best to bite your tongue and walk away. And also, it's a good idea if you're being disrespected by a coworker or a leader here, turn on your body cam, get that on camera, and give it to one of the higher ups, and we will take care of that accordingly. Because we ask that everybody show respect to their coworkers and their leaders. If not, you'll probably get dismissed. Like, for example, if you're in the lobby and a gangster comes up and he's calling you names and he's telling you, give me that effing med kit, you stupid, blah, blah, blah. As long as he has his gun put away, give him the med kit. Don't say nothing. If you don't leave, then you just turn around and go to the second floor or something. That's the best way to handle that. Because I've noticed if I stick around and let these people disrespect me and call my name or call me names, it gets me a little heated. I want to defend myself because I know I'm not like that, but it's just better to walk away. Number 9 is non-compliance with orders. For example, I have been here trying to get Milani to come up to the second floor. She wrote me asking me a whole bunch of questions. Why do I need to come up there? You meet me outside. And it's like, I just keep asking her, come to the second floor, come to the second floor. It's a mandatory orientation for green nurses. Why do I have to come up there? No, she's getting charged with MD9, non-compliance with orders. There's a few of us that wrote over floppy chat, all green scrubs, second floor. She refuses to come, therefore she's not complying with orders. If you're in the lobby and and you're standing outside of the desk, and when your higher ups asks you to fill in the empty spot behind the desk, we ask that you listen to that, and if not, then you will be charged with an MD9. Say we're having a meeting, like a faction meeting, and they call over floppy chat all medics to the second floor. And we call it a few times before we start the meeting. So if you don't abide by that and you just blatantly ignore it, you'll be charged with an MD9. So number 10 is use of personal car for EMS work. It's pretty much the opposite of MD4. I think Batman also touched on it a little bit earlier. We ask that when you're going out on CPR calls, use the ambulance. Only use the ambulance trucks, not your own car, not your scooter, not your BMW or your Porsche. Use the ambulance truck only. Now, there's also a thin line with that. If you say you're out on break and you go to the grocery store, and on your way back to the hospital, you see somebody laying in the street dead. You're a nurse, like you work in the medical field. Go ahead and stop and check on them. Ask them if they need your assistance, and if they need your assistance, go ahead and pick them up, because we're here to save lives. I'd also suggest get that on camera just in case you need to back yourself up in the future if you're questioned about it. But that's the only exception I would give with that. Other than that, just don't show up to a scene in your personal car where you need to give CPR. And number 11 is proper role play conduct. We just ask that you stay in your character. You're here role playing as a medical faction member. And as long as you have that uniform on, we ask that you stay with that character. So on and so forth. Like, make sure you're using the proper macros. Make sure that you are, while you're in the lobby, you're respectful to everybody, and you're pretty much, play a nurse and stay in that character. Let's see, MD12 is improper use of taser. Once you get promoted to your nurse practitioner scrubs, the white ones, you'll be able to pick up your taser in the medicine closet on the first floor. We ask that you don't use your taser until you complete taser training, because there's a proper way to use your taser, and we will teach you how. All right, so let's see. There's a hidden MD13. It's not posted or anything as far as I know under the MDs. However, I have seen it before, called MD13. It's also RP16. It is criminal activity against medical faction members. So say you're out running CPR calls. It's a safe scene, so you get out, you throw your macro up, and you start CPR, and then a gangster comes around the corner and shoots you down and kills you. That's RP16. So if you got that on camera, you'd be able to send it to me, and they would be charged with RP16 because they just shot down a medical faction member. So moving back to, there's tons of RPs. Y'all will be able to find these on your Discord. And also, if you look at the top right of your screen, there's a tiny book in between the bell and the store. If you click on that, and then to the left, click on rules and scroll down, you will be able to see all the rules in the game, including the RPs and the MDs. So just to touch up on a few of the RPs, I will ask you for these RPs in your rank up interview. So make sure you know these and study these or write these down. It's RP 13 through RP 16. I already went over RP 16, the criminal activity towards faction members. So number 13 is faction NRP. That would mean non-role play in faction. So that would also be like the opposite of MD10, I think. No, MD11. Number RP 14 is sexual harassment. That is disgusting. We ask that you don't sexually insult or even talk in a sexual manner to anybody in this server, or you can get charged with RP 14. It is anywhere from 60 minutes muted to 24 to 30-day bans, depending on the incident. And then RP 15 is disruption of faction operations. I've charged quite a few gangsters with this because they like to hang out outside, whether it be the front or the back of HP, including the lobby, and their complete disruption to the faction. So yeah, just make sure you're doing your job. I think everybody here is awesome. And does anybody have a question? Chris, you did an amazing job. Just want to throw that out there. So for the body cam, as far as I know, the body cam is screen recording on your phone. If you have an iPhone, you can drag down from the right corner. If you drag that screen down, you should be able to see like a, hold on. It's like a little circle with a thin circle around it. That's the screen recording button. If you click on that, it'll start recording. I think it's the same with the Android, but it's not the top right. I think it's the center you drag down. If you don't see that circle when you drag it down, Chris, you have to go into your settings and to the control panel and turn on screen recorder, and then it should be there when you drag that right corner down.
If you're wanting to buy a vehicle from a gang member, you're able to do so, but you have to be clocked out or on your break, and you have to have your screen record on, and you have to be in separate vehicles.
Yes. Make sure you got your screen recorder on. The only reason why we ask you to have that on is to watch your own back. So, Chris, say you go to buy a vehicle from a gangster and one of our members sees you there at hands talking with the gangster, buying the car or whatnot. They don't know what you're doing. They're just doing their job and making sure that you're doing yours correctly. So they come back here and they're like, hey, I just seen Chris at hands with a gangster. I'm going to send you the body cam over. Okay, well, we recording or us looking over the recording, we don't know what you're doing either. So we're going to think, oh, he's associating himself with a gangster. And it's going to look like MD7. So then we're going to come to you and be like, Chris, do you have body cam? Can you tell us what was going on? And the only way we're going to be able to make sure your statement is true is through that body cam footage, where we could, hear your conversation. That's the only thing that's going to protect you from that.
Oh wait, is Bo a white scrub now?
I think he's still green.
Okay, I thought so. He just clocked in, so I told him floor 2.
Chris, where are you going? We have not dismissed the orientation.
I'm curious to see how. Okay, so to answer your question, Jared, since you messaged me about it, yeah, we're like halfway over already. So,
Bro, I need to get this done. And
yes, we'll
you
figure
said
that out.
you said you'd text me when we start.
We'll figure that out. Chris, will you please stop chatting in the Flobby chat? The Flobby chat is for the faction chat only, not personal chat. So just refrain from that. Oh my god, my dog.
Chris, this is your last warning. Yes, she has a dog. That's why it's barking in the background.
All right, so I think it's a good time for Raya, Jayla, to go ahead and help Marcellus and Chris hook up with the Discord, get their macros over and all that. And maybe we can go over the MDs and stuff again for Bo and Jared.
yeah, that works. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, because I guess if you need Discord and your macros, stand over here. If you have everything, stand here.
Bo is good to go. He doesn't have to be here.